The Cadillac Lyriq sold out for 2022 in 11 minutes, and now it's been launched on the Chinese market with similar demand. And the good news is that General Motors is actually ahead on development of this vehicle. Hello my friends and welcome to the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. Fantastic to have you here on the channel. I'm coming to you from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome to all the new subscribers and welcome back to everyone else. 2022, it's going to be an amazing year. It's going to be way better than 2021. And here is one of the reasons why it's going to be awesome. Seriously, I mean that. Why? Well, if you're into electric cars, if you're into the future, if you're into technology, if you're into batteries, if you're into breathing clean air, I think most of us do like to breathe clean air, then 2022 is going to be fantastic. So, General Motors, well, they've pretty much fallen flat on their face lately with production of the Chevy Bolt. Batteries started to spontaneously combust in front of dealerships. Embarrassing, yes. I'll put a link in the description below to that video. And GM paused production of their vehicles since August last year, and it still hasn't restarted. General Motors has more than 1,000 people working at that factory, and they're all sitting at home on their asses doing nothing since August, and probably won't be working again until March. But good news here is they are apparently ahead on development of the Cadillac Lyriq, which is, I have to say, a pretty impressive looking vehicle. And demand has been equally impressive. Like I said, deliveries for 2022 sold out in 11 minutes, which in my view is a bit of a mistake from General Motors. They need to produce more of these. Now, General Motors says all of the components and technology that goes into the Cadillac Lyriq electric crossover have passed the 80% validation benchmark. Now, getting to this point has included lots of real-world driving on gravel, ice and snow at the Southern Hemisphere Proving Grounds in Wanaka, New Zealand, as well as hours of jostling on suspension rigs and aero work in the lab. Now, by the way, if you haven't been to New Zealand, yeah, you should go, because I rode my bike around the world through 25 different countries. None of them included New Zealand. So I spent a lot of time traveling. I also lived in Taiwan and China, and I've been to a lot of places. Been very lucky in that regard. But when I went to New Zealand, I realized the most incredible country in the world for its scenery was New Zealand. So make sure you check it out. Put it on the bucket list. Now, a General Motors worker has said the Lyriq has a lot of potential as far as setting a new benchmark for ride and handling in the segment. The brand's ride and handling mission statement, said to be called isolated precision. Having proved the substance of the foundation, engineers can spend the next 6 months or so fine-tuning the vehicle's touch points. So apparently, General Motors has actually produced these vehicles to production standard, but now they're fine-tuning little things like this to make sure the vehicle gets rave reviews, essentially. Now, Lyriq customers will get the final say on all of this early next year, around 8 months earlier than planned. In August 2020, when Cadillac officially revealed the Lyriq, the automaker said it wouldn't hit the market until late 2022. According to General Motors, the compressed development schedule is thanks to the modular and highly flexible qualities of the Ultium system, along with engineering advances in battery technology, use of virtual development tools, and lessons learned from the Hummer EV development process. And it has nothing to do with the fact that right now General Motors isn't really producing any EVs, and they kind of feel a bit embarrassed about that fact because they've claimed that they are the #1 electric car company in the world. Nothing to do with that at all. Trust me. Trust me on that. Now, this model that comes first is the Lyriq Debut Edition. It's single motor on the rear axle, providing 340 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. Juice comes from a 100 kilowatt hour. It's actually 97 kilowatt hours, just to be correct on that. The news sources are wrong, but anyway, it doesn't matter. 197, not a big deal. 100 kilowatt hour, 97 kilowatt hour Ultium battery pack that GM believes will be good for 300 miles of range. Now, home charging comes with a standard 11.5 kilowatt charger that restores the battery from a full overnight session from empty. You can get an optional 19.2 kilowatt onboard charger that takes about 6 hours to charge the car, restoring roughly 52 miles of range per hour. Plugged into a DC fast charger at the max 190 kilowatt, the Lyriq gains about 76 miles of range in 10 minutes. Now, to be fair, 190 kilowatt, that will be seen as being slow in mid-2022. But hey, other than that, the vehicle does look good. And the more EVs we have in the market, the better. So, production will start in Q1 next year at GM's Spring Hill, Tennessee facility that will build the other 5 Cadillac electric vehicles that are planned by 2025. And their batteries. Next summer, Cadillac will reopen the Lyriq reservation system for series production models, among those being the dual motor all-wheel drive performance trims. And I think they're going to see a lot of demand for this vehicle. In China, they've just released pre-ordering, and this vehicle has been very popular in spite of the fact that it's actually quite expensive. It's about $70,000 US, which in China is a lot for an electric vehicle with specifications like this. Based on the specs, it's probably comparing similarly to, say, a $45,000 EVs in China. But maybe the GM brand does have some value in China. Now, personally, I think this looks really good, but I'm just wondering, do they need to fit a 12-cylinder engine in that front bonnet? Because that thing is enormous. I'm not really sure why they put such an enormous bonnet on an electric car when they don't need it at all. In fact, you don't need any bonnet. But that said, it looks cool and it will appeal to people who like the look of traditional vehicles. And I'm sure a lot of those are current General Motors ICE vehicle owners. Let me know what you think of the look. Will you consider buying one of these? Thanks for watching the channel, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.